is the first possible looper I might be seeing out here. That boat could definitely do the loops, be local. There's one section of that song that says, "Me and my woman, we're gonna make our plans, gonna raise a family, walking hand in hand," or something like that. And it's like, what happened to the world? The average mountain man type of working class fella that has his woman has no chance in the Tennessee River here. At least the part we've seen so far. Of course, it's just something else that I have to resist and not make me even lazier. You know, I got to make these videos, and these take a lot of time, so I don't think so. I just think, I remember back on the loop, there were many times where, like, man, tonight just feels like a good night to watch a good movie. You know, there's lots of bad movies. For every one good movie, there's 10 bad ones at least, you know, kind of like songs and kind of like a lot of things, but there are still good movies out there, so, and they're worth watching. Maybe I'll make a list sometime. We're gonna have lots of time on this trip again, and I might bring back the Nosy Beagle movie reviews. So I've got a few in my head right now. So I think that house is abandoned, or nobody's living in it, which really surprises me. All we got to do here is just talk while we're walking, guys, so I'll just keep yapping at you and decide later if it's worth putting in. But if you're seeing this, obviously I thought it was, so, or maybe the backup channel. So, you know, I've been trying to think of a way to move down to this part of the world, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, North Carolina, something like that, you know, this region. And I don't have a lot of capital built up in my life. I mean, I have some properties, as you guys know, but way up in the Northland, they're not really worth that much in comparison to some of these up and coming markets. A lot of people want to move to Tennessee. People have for a long time been moving out here from the coasts, you know. So I guess what I'm trying to say is property values are really high, you know, comparatively. They're low compared to California or something, but I was thinking, you know, I saw that house back there that was abandoned or not lived in or whatever, and I was like, well, kind of like how I found my river place. It was a property that had problems that needed to be solved, having to do with property lines and stuff like that, and contentious neighbors that were making problems for each other in a small town. And so I was like, well, what if I found another kind of problem property down here? What if that house back there has some kind of issue that some local just doesn't want to deal with? They already have a house or whatever, and they want to sell it relatively cheap, and then me being the problem solver that I can be, because it makes up for lack of money, maybe I can find another sweet deal, you know, even on water, you know, something like that where it comes with an acre. Let's say someone else buys the other. I see a lot of farmland around here. Maybe they buy the other 40 acres or 39 acres or whatever, and I get an acre and the water, which is all I would really need anyway. So I'm just, you know, brainstorming here. I bet you, you know, enough door knocks and enough questions and enough, you know, people, you know, asking the right people on the ground, you know, it goes a long way to kind of come ground level on some of these things, instead of, by the time like a property ends up on Zillow or it's listed with a real estate company, a lot of times the deal aspect is long gone. So that's what I found anyway. So all my properties, I think except for one, I kind of got word of mouth and just kind of had to jump on them because I knew somebody before I got listed. So just a thought. If you have any thoughts about that, please comment below. Trawler going by. They kind of look like loopers. I am seeing a cool little trawler off in the distance. Wish I could get a closer look of that. That's a neat one. I'm looking for a trawler that I can afford to live on the Great Lakes in the summer, because I just don't think the shanty boat is built for the Great Lakes. I know that's news to everybody. Hey guys, just give me 30 seconds. Iceco has been really good to me. They've been really good to us, Wavey and I, this channel. They took a chance on us when we had 6,000 subscribers, right when we first started the loop, and they've sent us so much awesome stuff. They've given us 2 coolers. They've given us a solar panel and a power station they just came out with. Unfortunately, it showed up at my house a couple days after we left for this trip, but I'll pick it up on Christmas or something, but you'll eventually see it. They are really our OG sponsor, kind of our flagship sponsor. Let me turn the phone on. Right now we're here on the Tennessee, pulled up against the bank, and I'm making some food like I always do. Some potatoes, some corn, making little breakfast burritos with what I got. I'm gonna go to Walmart soon. And all of this is possible because we have an Iceco that just sips electricity. Our 800 watt solar system can charge it just fine. Every once in a while we have 3 days of cloudy weather, I'll turn it off at night, which is no problem. I turn it back on in the morning, everything's still cold, everything's still frozen in the freezer. They're amazing, they're a game changer. If you're still hunting for ice on your adventures, just pull the trigger, get yourself an Iceco. We have a link in the description. Wavey, all caps. Link in the description. We've hooked up probably half a dozen other shanty boat captains so far, and we're just going to keep doing it because this is one of those products where it's a no-brainer to promote and to suggest to you guys. Thanks.